It's Saturday. Thought I'd do another vlog, hang out, show you what I get up to. It's a really miserable day today. It's really windy and grey. So I'll probably be at home most of the day, but I'll show you what I eat and get up to, and we can just hang out and have chats. Anyway, I'm gonna go make some brekkie. So I think I'm gonna make an omelette this morning. I've been really into them at the moment. I don't know why. I feel like I get really obsessed with a certain breakfast meal and I just have the same thing on repeat for like 2 weeks, and at the moment it's an omelette. We have eggs from our chooks, which is pretty special, so yeah, I'm gonna make that. Far out. It is one seriously moody day out there. It's so windy. Good day to be rugged up inside. And I feel like getting into bed and watching a movie or something. I thought I would go through some of my favourite books that I've read this year. I read a lot. I actually can't sleep if I don't read for about an hour before I go to sleep, so I get through quite a few books a year. I could talk about books probably for about 20 minutes, so these are my top ones at the moment, but I might talk about some more in another video. So anyway, I'll go through them. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is one of those books that is incredibly hard to put down. It's a really uncomfortable read. It's quite confronting. It's about a 15-year-old girl and her relationship with her English teacher. And he's a pedophile, and it's basically about how he manipulates and grooms her. And she becomes convinced that he's this great love of her life. And she finds out when she's an adult that he's done the same thing to multiple other girls, and it's about kind of how she navigates that trauma and what happens. Yeah, it's engrossing. It's a challenging read. It's one of those books that once you finish reading it, you think about it for a long time afterwards. Really good book. Would recommend. Next we have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I love this book. It kind of made me feel sad when I finished it. It's one of those books where you kind of don't want it to end, and I felt really like emotionally invested in the main character. So it's about a girl called Kaya Clark who lives in a secluded marsh, and basically all her loved ones abandon her, and it's about how she figures out life on her own and becomes incredibly self-reliant. And a man in the nearest township gets murdered, and everybody thinks Kaya is the one who did it. It's kind of like a coming of age / mystery / love story. It's really good. Boy Swallows Universe is next by Trent Dalton, who's an Australian writer. It is set in Brisbane in like working class suburbia, and it's about his relationship with his brothers and family and how he tries to overcome all these obstacles that get in his way. It's actually quite a hard book to explain. Again, it's a coming of age story, but there's a lot of layers. It's quite complex. It's one that I would probably read again because I feel like I'll get something new out of it again. Really good book. Really unique book. Definitely read that one. Next one is 10 minutes 38 seconds in the Strange World by Elif Shafak. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering that name. She's a Turkish writer, and it's about a sex worker in Istanbul. And at the beginning of the novel, the main character, her name's Lila, she dies, and then every chapter is like 1 minute of her life, which are basically just memories of big events that happen in her life, like from growing up until where she kind of ends up. Super interesting. I haven't read a book like this before. Really liked it. Next is a bit of a double whammy. These are 2 books by James Frey. These are semi-fictional. They're about a 23-year-old alcoholic and addict who goes through rehab. So the first one is about kind of how he copes in rehab, and basically just about his story. Really engrossing read, quite harrowing at times, but again, one that I found quite hard to put down. And then the sequel to that is My Friend Leonard, which is about the same character, and he's out of rehab and he's just trying to kind of navigate life. And it's about his relationship with his friend Leonard, who he meets in rehab, who's this really like charming, cool character, and all the mischief they get up to. So yeah, really good one. And last one, My Fair Junkie, which is by Amy Dresner. I'm actually reading this at the moment. I'm about halfway through. It is basically a memoir about alcoholism and addiction. I heard about her through a Rich Roll podcast, actually. She's a stand-up comedian now, I think. Really enjoying it. It's pretty raw and graphic in parts, but yeah, really good, enjoying it. And that's that. I could probably keep talking about books for another 30 minutes, but I think I'll recommend some more in maybe like an upcoming video. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought about them, so we can have a little chat. But right now, I think I'm going to make some Bliss balls or something, because I'm feeling like something sweet, and then I might just chill. It's that kind of day. Alright, I'll talk soon. Feeling exhausted. I feel like every time the weather is like this, like really windy and moody, I get really fatigued. Kind of makes me feel like a bit of a space cadet. Really affects my energy. I just got out of the bath and I'm feeling like making something really comforting and cozy for dinner. So I think I'm gonna make my like cheats lasagna. It's basically make a tomato sauce and then you roast kind of whatever veggies you want. I think I'm going to do pumpkin and zucchini, and then you just do like a layer of tomato sauce and then the veggies and then the lasagna sheets. You don't make a bechamel or anything like that. I can't be bothered doing that, but it's still just as like yummy and kind of like rich, but yeah, a little bit healthier I guess than a traditional lasagna. So I'm really excited to eat that. Also, the Bliss balls that I made earlier are my cinnamon and jam donut Bliss balls, so I'll list the recipe down below. I made them with peanut butter today instead of almond butter, and they actually turned out real dope, so I'm pretty stoked with that. Anyway, I'm gonna go make a lasagna. Talk soon. I must say, that lasagna, very, very good. I had 2 ginormous servings. It's such a quick one to put together too, like it takes about 20 minutes. So I make a quick tomato sauce while the veggies are roasting. I just use a base of onion and garlic, fry that off in some olive oil, add a pinch of dried basil, and then I add some good quality tin tomatoes, and then just kind of let it cook out. One tip is to add a little splash of balsamic vinegar to the sauce. It just gives it like a little added richness and depth. It's really good. I am currently in bed with a cup of ginger tea and a Bliss ball, and I think I'm going to watch something on my laptop. I'm going to go for a run in the morning, which will be good. So yeah, I'll see you then. Good night. Good morning. I'm about to go for my run. It's 8:10. I woke up at about 5:30 to go to the bathroom, went back to bed just to have a little doze, and fell into a really deep sleep. I must have needed it. I'm going to run around the Valley Lake today, which is quite a challenging piece of trail. I did it last Sunday and I just found it so difficult. It's quite steep, so you have to hike some of it. And I basically want to try and do it once a week and see if I can beat my time. I'm mostly a road runner. Like, I started running on the road, but I started doing a bit of trail running since I moved here to South Australia, and I love it, but I'm just not very good at it. It's quite humbling, so yeah, always good to have a challenge though. Anyway, I have Dan's GoPro, so I'll try and take some footage, but yeah, I shall see you after. Bye. Okay, all done. Man, that's such a hard one. It's only 8 kilometers, but because it's so steep, it feels so much longer. I feel wrecked. Anyway, time to go home, have a nice hot shower, and make some breakfast. See you soon. I just got stuck in an editing hole. I thought I would recommend a podcast I was listening to when I was running today. It's called Feel Better, Live More. See that? And the host is Dr. Chatterjee, and this episode is called How to Transform Your Life, or How Running Can Transform Your Life. And the guest he had on is a guy called Sanjay Rawal, who is a filmmaker, and he made a documentary called 3100 Run and Become, about a 3,100 mile race that they do in Queens in New York. And they go around like a half-mile block, like over and over and over for up to like 50, 60 days. And he also follows the Kalahari Bushmen and a group of Japanese monks. And they're just talking about how running is, or can be, a form of spiritual growth. And they were talking as well about how there were like 3 reasons why these Kalahari Bushmen love to run. One was that it's a celebration of life. 2, that running can be a teacher. And 3, that it can be a form of prayer. I just thought that was really lovely and I could resonate with it, so I thought I'd share that. It's a really good, interesting listen. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some lunch. And so we meet again in my bed. I thought I'd end this video now because I was just editing it and I realized that it is quite long. So I thought I'd say goodbye, but I'm just winding down for the night. I had chickpea tacos for dinner, which I completely forgot to film, but they were super delicious. I'm just writing my gratitude list, which I do every night, and I have been doing it for a couple of years, which makes me sound really wholesome, but it's quite necessary for me because I guess my default setting is quite anxious, so writing a gratitude list kind of reminds me to be content and present and happy with what I have. So if you're ever feeling low, I super recommend doing that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I sometimes worry that they can be a little bit boring. I've received a couple of really nice messages from you guys though, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. I hope you're doing super well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.